We are here today with Sam Drissi and Mark Somerset from Artizyou. You've heard them speak yesterday, and today they were kind enough to join us here for a Q&A. I have a couple of questions that people sent in via email to me, but maybe do you want to start with giving us in a nutshell what you are doing with Artizyou?
Of course, yeah. We work since many years as a creative people to protect intellectual property and to make it really accessible to everyone, because we find it really hard today to understand what we have to do. What's the first step to protect my asset, depending like it's a music, it's a book, a video, whatever. And we create really cool technology using blockchain to generate a certificate. Then this is the proof of ownership about intellectual property. Also, we develop plagiarism detection because as a creator, it's important to be aware if someone copy me and share my content online. And finally, we bring like legal advices with professional and expert in intellectual property.
Yeah. In the background of all this is that cybercrime is going up exponentially, and people are discovering, dishonest people are discovering it's easier to steal than to create. And what happens is it's very discouraging for the artist to actually create something, put it out there to gain popularity and show the world, and have someone just take it and call it their own.
Exactly.
So that's a big no-no, and cybercrime is going up exponentially everywhere. And we're fighting that, and we have the backs of the artists and creators all over the world.
Thank you very much for that explanation. And you put together a really amazing offer for our summit, where we can upload like 12 pieces of art and like in one package. How does that work?
The regular price, if someone comes onto our platform and wants to protect their intellectual property, whether that's a song, whether that's a book, whether that's a poem, whether that's a video, whatever it is, it's $85 per. And and for your group, Charlene, well, what we're going to do is we're going to, for the same $85, we will allow them to upload 12 assets, no matter what they are. Not only that, but we're going to throw in free of charge the monitoring service, which is an artificial intelligent monitoring service that constantly checks the internet to find the people who are stealing your stuff and posting on their website as their own, and the user's going to be aware right away. So we're like the policeman. We don't give tickets. We go to the creator, and it's up to them to take action. So that's the offer, 12 for one, and that comes out to $7 each.
It's an amazing offer, and I wasn't aware that it includes the monitoring service, so I'm like baffled right now.
That's it. Because what we want to do is we want to make sure that perpetrators and infringers are found. The monitoring service does exactly that, goes out and finds it and reports back and say, hey, we found your creation over here and over here. Mm-hmm. And our whole system is designed that the first couple of steps you can take for free. And it's basically a cease and desist letter that you send it to the person. And usually that's enough to get the people to start, because they wonder, how did you find me?
Yeah. Artizyou found you, that's how. I got a couple of questions for you via email, and the very first one was, what's the limit on words? How much text can I register as one item?
Text or book, for example, today it's 270,000 characters. We can make a demo and we can help people. They can contact us anytime. We have like already tutorial video explaining how it works.
Yeah.
In reality, every textual support, you have a box named like text to be alerted. There, you have just to copy paste the textual content. That's it. And the artificial intelligence will make the rest.
Yeah, 250,000 characters comes out to a small book. However, I'd like to point out that every book that's published, usually there's certain areas, certain chapters where it's very unique. And if you have a very large book, but you only have a few chapters where that contains and describes your IP, well, you could scan those chapters and upload that.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is the plagiarism system, which is the monitoring system, is going to report back to you and say, hey, we found what you wrote over here, but it was 90% your words or 70% your words. And that tells you that someone took your stuff and attempted to rewrite it.
Exactly.
Yeah, got it.
Very good to know.
So what you're actually saying is when I have, for example, a novel or a nonfiction book, I don't actually have to register all of it. It's enough to have, got it. Okay.
Sometimes you can, because like Mark said, small ebook could be like integrated completely in the part, but if not, it's better to use some like big chapters, or maybe make it in 2 or 3 parts.
That's it. So you could take a book that has 500,000 characters and make 2 uploads.
For example.
Well, the next question I thought was, okay, I don't know what to make with it, but I guess you do. The question is, does your algorithm work like YouTube's?
Good question. Actually, the algorithm on YouTube's will detect similarity for music, for example. They can detect exclusively video. It's a little bit similar, yes, because we detect pictures, for example, and we work with pixels similarity, which is like really cool.
Yeah.
For textual we name it like deep learning, which means like artificial intelligence will understand the sense of the word and it can like detect, like Mark said, the percentage of similarity. So yeah, we have some like similarity with the technology of YouTube, but it's different.
I now understand the question in a different way than I was like, what do they mean? Okay, but so thank you for clearing that up. And then this is a question that goes directly to the offer, and that is, if I register 12 items now, do I have to pay the yearly fee, which is the monitoring fee, for every item like next year?
Great question.
Go ahead.
So first of all, the $85 is one-time fee, just to keep it clear. The plagiarism detection is $60 for 12, because it's a promotion starting the next year. The first year is completely free. So the second year, if you want to pay, is like $60 a year, is like $4 a month. You can make it for 12.
Yeah, and one thing I'd like to add is that if you purchase the deal today, you'll have 1 year to upload your 12 assets. So you don't have to do it all at once. So if you're an artist out there and you're creating some oil paintings and you want to post it, and then you're creating one a month, well, you can upload one a month. And after a year, you will have your 12.
That is really good to know. And also I can easily see how that would be motivation, like to really use this and to say, okay, I want to go for the 12, and I just, so I guess I need to create something.
What we find is our clients who are already on the platform create dozens of IP. People are always very surprised as to the amount of intellectual property they actually created.
Exactly.
When they start counting it. And then we have, we sent you a document, and in there's a very simple procedure on how to count the different assets that you have. Now, we call it an asset because IP is valuable, because you can rent it, you can sell it, you can give it to your children, you can give it away, you can do whatever you want with it, but only the creator has those rights.
Yeah.
Not someone who takes it. And that's why we want to stop them, because it dilutes the value of the asset, which is the intellectual property.
I get it. I was wondering, like we had a conversation yesterday, actually, Aliki and I here, like afterwards, backstage, if you want to, we were thinking about how can we create something that is digital and unique for like that you can give away as a freebie with some merch, for example. So if you are a band and you have a merch table and you want to give your fans something digital as well, can we do that?
Of course. That's why technology is really cool today. For sure, as a big chapter, we can probably plan another meeting to talk about like all the technology with like some of you hear about like non-fungible token, which is like a virtual object creation we can share with fans.
Yeah.
It could be like a picture, a logo, a limited edition, like poster, whatever. So today with Artizyou, you can generate a digital creation. So supposed to be you have a band, you have like a limited edition picture or exclusive picture of your band, or like intro of your new album. Mm-hmm. So you can offer it as a gift or limited edition using our technology, because you generate a certificate, and with this certificate you can generate unique piece or limited edition. This is the next step of the project.
Yes, and what's going to happen with that is that's going to create a brand new distribution channel for artists. In other words, they an investor or someone who really likes their stuff will be able to buy the whole set of oil paintings from an artist, and then the artist will get paid for that. And then when the investor sells his collection, the artist gets paid again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when the person who bought it sells it again, the artist gets paid again. And it's a kind of a formula where the artist or the creator keeps most of the money. Whereas today, if you're creating music and you want to distribute it, you have to go and see a label. They keep most of the money. If you want to publish a book and you go to a publisher, they keep most of the money and give you very little. But this whole model is completely the reverse. The creator keeps most of the money and everybody else makes a little bit of money. Why? Because in blockchain, there is no middleman. It's consumer to creator direct. And eventually, with all the people that are coming on our platform, we're going to open up an artist store, which will contain the IP of everybody. So an artist will have much more exposure than they have today.
Yeah.
A songwriter will have much more exposure than he has today just on YouTube. And we will be able to monitor the internet to make sure no one steals it.
Yeah.
So it's protected. That's what's coming.
This has me so excited. I'm always looking for ways like how can I give more? How can I create something that is really special and to make my people feel special? And actually, Aliki just sent a message. She said, my mic is being weird today. So here's my question. What are the legal implications of uploading work? For example, if you want to protect the work of a band, should we upload this under the band name or under individual names?
Great question. Yeah. We already have a conversation with many artists and our lawyers about that. In reality, you have to, in the new version, not the version online actually, to be completely transparent, you would be able to add different authors and different owners. Because sometimes you work, for example, with the ghostwriter or the freelancer to make a part of your music. That's the reality. So you have to, first of all, to keep it clear, you have to have a contract with him to use his intellectual property. That's really important, number one. Number two, generating a contract on Artizyou, you'll be able to add all names, because sometimes it's collaboration between like many artists. So you have to add them with a complete address. And then the certificate will contain all those information. So the name of the band is not enough, unfortunately, because as an entity, However, if your band is registered as a company, you can make it like that. You have a company named like Band X, for example, and yeah, it's working like that.
And then they'll be able to establish different percentages of royalties, which is something that is very difficult to do under the current system today of standard copyright protection.
So that would answer that. And Alike and I were talking yesterday as well a little bit around the scarcity mindset. I mean, I told you when we got together that I see it with a lot of artists that it is a huge block. Like this, if I publish my work, it'll get stolen.
Right.
And we guess yesterday we had like almost an argument regarding, are we promoting a scarcity mindset if we say you need to protect? And I actually thought about this a lot, but I would like to, since I know that both of you are creatives, I would like to know your take on it. So on the one side, we are all creatives and there are millions and billions of ideas that will probably never see the light of day. And on the other hand, we're saying, I need to like protect and get closed as the opposite of open. How do you see that?
Well, that's a very good question. And basically, when people feel protected, they actually create more. Okay, when you're in survival mode, you're just thinking of surviving. You're not thriving. Okay, but when you're safe, that's where you create more. And it's not us saying it. Yes, that's exactly it. And it's not us. There was a neurosurgeon who studied this in New York City, and she said that under stress, creativity goes way down. And what causes stress? Well, a fear of getting your stuff stolen. And not only that, but when you're afraid of getting stuff stolen, you procrastinate exposing it to the world. And then you have all this inventory of IP that no one ever saw, no one ever experienced, and it's just sitting there on your end doing nothing. And when you release stuff, you want to create more. So that's an outstanding question. Thank you for asking that. And it plays being protected plays a very positive, has a very positive effect on creativity. And I've lived personally through that situation before. A few years ago, I published a book. And I sat on it for 6 months because I had a lot of my methodologies in there and they didn't want to expose it. But now my book is an Artizyou platform, and and that's actually how we got together.
Yeah, that's right.
So it broke down the fear I had, and when that fear breaks down, well, then you want to expose yourself to the world.
Yeah.
And because creators ultimately are the ones that make our world grow and prosper and expand. So we are 100% behind creators all the time. 100%. And as both of us are creators that way.
Yeah, I think there is also like a huge difference between I have so many ideas and I will not talk about my ideas because they will get stolen, because ideas are really cheap and we have an abundance of ideas. And then there's it gets like funneled into a significantly smaller amount of people who actually are willing to do the work and to write that book and not just to have the idea.
I like to comment on what you just said.
Yeah.
You cannot protect an idea, but you can protect the expression of an idea. The expression of an idea is the actual IP. So when you have an idea, very quickly develop it into an expression. Like you cannot safeguard drawing a line, but you could design a line that's just so flowing and straight. That is IP. Not the line. The line is the idea, okay? The enhanced line is the expression of the idea.
Got it, yeah. I'm going to hand over the microphone to Joe. Joe is a songwriter and author and radio presenter and tons of things more. And he has a question for you.
Sure.
I think he shared it publicly. Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
But you're still muted.
Yeah, I just realized that. That's funny. Yeah, nice to meet you. And I've just started listening to the wonderful audio you recorded with Shallalla, and that was so good to hear. And I'm super interested in all the stuff you're doing with IP and with cease and desist, because as I'm getting into the industry, I can understand how that plays such an increasing part. I've got a few questions that it'd be nice to talk about, but just one first one. In some jurisdictions, is it the case that IP is automatic? For example, I'm in the UK and I feel like IP is an automatic protection here. And so in that case, what do you think, what's your opinion as a stance on registering extra protection with an organization or with, say, like your organization? Do you feel that adds extra layer of protection if it's automatically protected in that jurisdiction?
Great question. Just I want to clarify by transparency, we are not lawyers. We work with lawyers since many years, so we share the advice we share, just personal experiences and our technology. This is the first point. The second point, you're absolutely right. Legally, you have to protect with conventional law your content or your creation, depending the country you are in. The challenge we have today, Joe, is virtually there is no law protecting you as a creator. We come back always to conventional law to protect you. And the problem is today, conventional law is not adapted to our reality as a creator in virtual world. So yeah, the best way to do it, first of all, your IP is automatically yours when you create something. This is the law, what he said, like universal law. But the problem, how to prove that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where Artizyou comes in, because as soon as you upload something, we give you a timestamp certificate of what you uploaded, and that becomes the most important evidence that this belongs to you. For example, if you're an artist, or say you're a songwriter, and you have a certain following there, and you play a brand new song that you just composed, somebody else listening to your podcast plugs in GarageBand, records what you played, asks our GarageBand to print out the note sheets, and then they register the note sheets as theirs. You don't even know. 2 years later, your song becomes super popular. This guy comes out of the woodwork and said, "Hey, I registered this song 2 years ago. You owe me $500,000.
Yeah, it's not funny.
Okay, how are you going to prove that you came out? Because everything happened after that. So what we tell musicians is, before you expose your music on a podcast, on YouTube or whatever, upload it to Artizyou, get your certificate, get it timestamped, and that becomes proof. Because whatever goes in to blockchain, this is where we store it. It cannot be altered in any way, shape, or form. And that is recognized throughout the world, and more and more and more jurisdictions are recognizing that blockchain is proof of ownership.
And I feel, yeah, and I feel like that's a really, obviously, because then that gives you the evidence to back up any case, because it's timestamped. And often in these debates, because I follow lots of different, the court cases that go on in the music industry, and it comes down to, both sides have a complete lack of evidence. So as you say, if someone heard it before you put it out in the world, and then they find a way of documenting it before you, then you're screwed, because there's no way you can prove that unless you have it registered in that form. And so that's a really, really interesting note to take. So what's your opinion on, say, there's an artist...
Sorry to interrupt. I'd like to add one thing. Basically, once you have that proof, it's yours forever. and it's a one-time fee, always, and that's it. It becomes very difficult to prove to someone to prove otherwise. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to ask your opinion on. There's been recently a case with an artist called Olivia Rodrigo, and what she's been doing is at the slightest hint of her melodies being similar to a few other artists. Say she's done it with one song where she's added Taylor Swift to her writing credit, and there's been another song where she's added Paramore to her writing credit, and there hasn't actually been a legal dispute. She's added them to the writing credits just to make sure she doesn't have a legal case on her hands. What do you think of that?
Well, you'd have to ask a lawyer.
Yeah,
That's a
for sure,
litigation
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yes.
We provide the tools to help protect your creation, but we do not litigate any issue. We have law firms in the U.S., in Europe, and in Canada representing clients who have particular issues.
And we offer this service also, so if someone needs advices, honestly, a personal opinion is a little bit sensitive, but I can give you mine. I find that unfair, personally, as a creator, because we work really hard. We put our blood, our time, our energy, our dream on the song or on creation. And when we see our creation there, it's really frustrating. And it could be like some creative people stop creating when they leave that. And there is a lot of story like... do you hear about the Quebec creator Robinson Curiosity? He created like a novel here, and he was copied by French TV, and they created a movie after he pitched the idea. So it's always the same thing. Creator, we have sensitivity. We put our energy in creation. So on my side is unfair, and a big star like her should be helpful and should help this creator to maybe share royalties. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's not always negative too. Sometimes if you upload to the Artizyou platform and the monitoring service is going to pick up anybody else that reposts it, but that could be a partner for you.
Yeah. And it might, it's not always going to be cases where they're pretending it's their own work, but it allows you to connect that and see it more. And you don't know, I feel like there's lots of, fan videos, and it's a way of finding where it is and engaging it and being aware of audience habits as well.
Yeah, we've seen a case where a consultant came out with a methodology and then discovered that someone else was posting her methodology as she wrote it, okay? But when she went on the website, she found out that this person was actually promoting that other person. They just didn't tell them they were promoting, and that ended up being a good partner for that one consultant.
All right, so I'm just checking Facebook. There, people are satisfied. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us right now?
Well, you'll have 5 days to take advantage of the offer.
Yeah.
After that, it disappears. So we're Wednesday, so it'll be Thursday, Friday, and by next Wednesday, Sam, we'll be taking down that offer.
And
okay.
If you have any question, I don't know, Shallalla, if you can share the email with them, or we'll be really happy to help you with what we can do, what is possible to help you with, to give you advices. Think about strategy and think about something really important. Your creation is an asset, and those assets can bring you revenue, can make you happy, because people, when they discover your creation, they discover a part of yourself, and this is really big. There is no financial value behind that.
Yeah, that's why we called it Artizyou. You are the art.
Yeah.
And whether you're a consultant, whether you're a painter, whether you're a musician, whether you're a designer, the art is really you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I said it like probably 1,000 times by now in this summit. Like, who is supposed to take your art seriously if you don't take it seriously?
Right.
So,
Good point.
Good point.
yeah. And I really love the idea of, we talked about this in the interview. We talked about it, how having this backlist and constantly uploading new things, and that actually makes you realize how creative you are and how large your output is.
Yeah.
So I'm all for what you are doing. I'm super excited by the technology and by the things that it opens up. It makes me more creative to think about this. Like, what can I create and protect through your technology, and then give to my people to make them enjoy my art more. So I love it. I'm super happy that you're here.
And it takes less than 5 minutes to upload something. It's like no time at all.
Yeah, it's easier than uploading a YouTube video.
It is.
That's right.
Much easier, and you don't even have time to drink your whole cup of coffee, and it's already uploaded.
Right.
If there's anything else, get on their platform. We have a chat there. Pose your question. We'll get back to you. We'll answer you. And good luck with your creations. We love every single one of you creators out there, because because of you, our world is constantly expanding.
And just clarification, the chat is accessible after connection, but there are also contact forms, so please use it anytime. And there's also tutorial. So the target, like you said, Charlene, in many webinars and YouTube, your beautiful YouTube channel, take your creation seriously, have a methodology, and be aware by your creation, because sometimes I can give you a small example before to say goodbye. Is we have one creator share like a beautiful post in social media. He have a lot of he make a buzz, but he wasn't aware like those words and the beautiful picture he share make all this impact. So as soon as we are aware by that, we can make a tremendous difference. We can generate revenue, and we can create more and more. So just be aware by what are you creating at this moment and what already created in the past. It's amazing.
Sam, you had these 3 words. What was it? Creation. What was it? Creation, data, protection. It was 3.
Yeah, protect. Yeah, it's create, protect, digitize. Yeah, exactly. Because we digitize or tokenize. I know it's a blockchain word. It's a tech word. That means your creation could be a digital content. You can sell it online as as a token or as a unit or limited edition. We
Yeah.
are going in this direction in the future. We work really hard in this, and we hope help creative people enjoy and live with the creation they made.
Yeah, and it's fast, easy, and affordable.
Exactly.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure.